The Misadventures of Cy and Elmer. At the end of the last episode, we left Cy and Elmer and the sheriff, together with Stephen Gregory, in the library of the Gregory home. Stephen Gregory, Punkenville's richest man, has been warned to vacate his house or meet his death on a certain date. These warnings have come in mysterious voice through Gregory's radio set. We last saw the detectives as they sat in front of the Gregory radio and heard the mystery voice give Stephen Gregory just 10 more days to live. We discover them now just as we left them. The ghostly voice has given its warning, and the music of the dance orchestra is still heard from the radio.
That voice come right out of that radio, didn't it?
And it said...
Yeah, it said that Stephen Gregory was going to die. But Mr. Gregory ain't going to get hurt if we can help.
That radio is worrying me.
Well, my goodness, it ain't making me none too cheerful. Sheriff, can't we shut that thing off now?
Yeah, I heard plenty out of that thing.
That's all for the night, boys. I'll shut it off right now.
Yeah, that'll help some anyway.
My goodness gracious, after hearing that terrible voice come out of that nice little radio and in the middle of that dance music, I don't ever want to hear radio again.
Can we go home now, Sheriff?
Can you go home? What kind of talk is that, Si? Look at Mr. Gregory over there in his chair. Plenty worried, I know. Sitting there and hearing his life threatened in this mysterious way. But he ain't thinking about running away. Are you, Mr. Gregory?
Not as long as I live.
Yes, he'll be leaving in 10 days, then.
Why, Elmer Peabody, to say such a thing.
Well, didn't that voice over the radio say Mr. Gregory was going to die in 10 days?
Yeah.
Well, I reckon he'll leave then.
Elmer, I'm plumb ashamed of you.
That's enough of that kind of talk. Come on, get busy, boys.
Get busy? Doing what?
Well, there ain't nothing we can do till 10:17 tomorrow night, is there?
Yeah.
Then we can listen to the radio again and see if it says any more about Mr. Gregory only having a few more days to live in this house.
Yeah, I guess that's all we can do, ain't it, Sheriff?
Say, you two are supposed to be detectives, ain't you?
Yeah, supposed to be.
Suppose nothing. Darn it, we are detectives.
Betcha.
Yes, sir, and ain't no better detectives in the country than Elmer Peabody and Silas Q. Perkins of their Snoop and Sneak Detective Agency Limited?
Betcha.
No, sir. And them same fearless detectives is right here now to figure out this here crime.
That's getting him told off, Elmer.
Well, it's about time you remembered what you're here for. I'll get this into your heads. Before we leave here tonight, we're going to figure this thing out.
Yeah, we got to stay in the same house with that radio spook at night?
Say, there ain't no radio spooks.
Yes, so.
Oh, there's not.
You heard him yourself, Elmer.
Well, ain't no such thing as spooks. Been telling you that for years.
Well, then what is it?
Well, if we're going to find a fellow who's making them threats over the radio, I reckon we'll find him at some of them broadcasting stations.
Now you got it, Elmer.
Elmer ain't got a thing that's any good.
Now, what's the matter, ain't it?
That voice come out of the radio, didn't it?
Of course it did.
Yes, and radio comes out of broadcasting stations, don't it?
Only place it does come from.
Yes, and all we got to do is go to the station that program is coming from, the rest of the broadcasting fellas.
Yeah, that's all there is to it.
Oh, here. If you two would cool off long enough to listen to what I know about this thing, we might get to work. Now, to begin with, this makes 6 nights that warning has come over the radio. 6 times that voice has threatened Stephen Gregory's life. And the radio has been tuned to different stations every night. Now, how about your man being in the broadcasting station, Elmer?
Yeah, how about that, Elmer? He couldn't be in all them places, could he?
Well, he could get around by airplane, couldn't he?
Yeah, I guess he could.
Well, even that wouldn't do him no good, Elmer. 'Cause how could he make us tune in on the program he wants us to hear every night? No, Elmer. The radio station is out.
Maybe this criminal feller is using that stuff he tells about in our detecting book, Elmer. That mental telegraphy.
I got it now, Si. I got it. I know how this thing is being done.
How, Elmer?
Well, I know just what that feller is using to make us tune in the station he's talking from.
What's he using?
Come on, get it off your chest, Elmer, then we'll get to work.
Now, Sheriff, Elmer is always right.
Certainly am. Never made a mistake since I was 6 years old.
Well, just how do you figure this, Elmer?
Well, says in our book that the power of the human mind is the strongest thing in the world. You read it, didn't you?
Yeah.
All right. Now this mystery voice feller has got a strong mind, and he's just reaching out his voice from all them far stations.
Yeah, but how can we catch him, man?
You're both going to catch fits if you don't study down and figure on this case.
All right.
Now, if that voice did come from a radio station, why didn't some other folks hear it that was listening to the same program we was?
Oh, that's a sticker, all right.
Yeah, slick question, Sheriff. Reckon he ain't got no quick answer ready right now.
Me neither.
Then we'll forget all them wild dreams and start out to figure this case from the logical starting point. And that's right here.
How can we start here?
Si Perkins, I don't blame the sheriff for getting short on patience with you. No,
What's
I don't.
the matter?
Well,
What's the
I
matter?
don't.
What's the matter?
Well, what does it say in our book on detective about working on the case?
Oh, I forgot to bring a book, Elmer.
Don't need it. Very first thing in that book said leave nothing undone to the scene of the crime.
Is this the scene of the crime?
Well, I reckon it is, Si. Threatening a man's life is mighty serious business if you can prove it.
Yeah.
And right here in this room, in front of that radio, is what I'd call the scene of the crime. Now, if we ain't got much for evidence, there's nothing stopping us from looking for a motive.
Where'd we better look?
Well, the crime, if it happens, is going to be killing Mr. Gregory, ain't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I reckon the only reason anybody have for doing that be his money.
Now you got it, Elmer.
Yeah, at last he's got it.
What do you mean last?
Well, now that you finally figured out what I knew 2 days ago, maybe you'll let me talk.
Oh.
I got an idea. We ought to talk to Mr. Gregory. We don't want to bother him too much, but it may help us a lot to find out a few things. Now, we'll ask a few questions.
Mr. Gregory don't look very good, does he?
You wouldn't look like nothing if the radio was getting ready to kill you.
No, I reckon not.
Now, boys, just stand here close. Mr. Gregory's kind of hard to hear. Now, Mr. Gregory, it looks as if we've got to ask you some questions to help us on this case. Now, we'll make it just as easy as we can and let you get to bed as soon as you can.
Quite all right, Sheriff.
Now, to start with, how many people are here with you in the house?
Oh, I know the answer to that one.
Yes, me too. It's me and Si and the sheriff.
Yeah, that makes 3.
Now, that'll be all from you two. Now, Mr. Gregory, how many servants have you?
Only 7.
My goodness, only 7? 7 servants? Sweet sassafras.
Not 7. 7. My chauffeur.
The chauffeur's name is Severn. So, just one servant. Well, can you think of any reason he'd want you out of the way?
No, none.
But my goodness, with all the money you got, Mr. Gregory.
Yeah, and this big house, you know.
Now, is the chauffeur mentioned in your will?
No.
Well, then that lets him out. Now, you have a son, if I remember right, Mr. Gregory, and I suppose all you have will go to him.
Yes, it will.
There you are. There you are. That's answered the whole darn thing right there.
What is?
Well, the son is a crook, and he's trying to scare Mr. Gregory away so he can have the money.
You got it all figured out, Elmer.
Oh, that was easy for me. Now all we got to do is to get the son and arrest him for threatening.
Yeah, but where's the son?
Well, that's the first sensible thing you asked tonight, Si. Where's your boy, Mr. Gregory?
Europe.
What's that you said?
Europe.
Europe? Well, I can't help it. Si and the sheriff's got all the chairs.
He means for you to sit down, Elmer.
I know what he means, all right.
Well, then sit down.
Mr. Gregory didn't say Europe. He said Europe.
Oh, what's the difference?
Not a darn bit. We keep out in the hard fields, I'll sit on the floor.
Good idea.
Now, Europe is the name of a whole bunch of countries over in, Europe.
Oh, I see.
Now, if the son is over in Europe, there ain't much chance of him having anything to do with these here radio threats. Now, is there anybody else that could profit by your death?
Not a soul.
Then we've got to look for the criminal without a motive.
How about his money still being the motive?
Good idea, Si. Now, what's the reason that somebody wouldn't get the money, even if they weren't in the will? Maybe they could get a crooked lawyer. The will ain't just like you think it is.
Yeah, that's my partner talking now.
And mighty smart talk it is, too.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we better get along for tonight and let Mr. Gregory get some sleep. Now, we'll come out in the morning, look the house over by daylight, have a little talk with that chauffeur of yours.
Could one of you gentlemen assist me up the stairs?
Why, of course we will, Mr. Gregory. Here, Si, you help him up them stairs. Come on. Elmer and me take a turn around the house and make sure it's locked up. Chauffeur come in a while ago. I heard his car.
You have good ears, Sheriff. Mine are very bad.
That's too bad.
Yeah, my ears is bad too, Mr. Gregory. Ain't been right good for 30 years. Now, I got some medicine that'll just...
No, never mind that, Si. Help Mr. Gregory out of here. Get that door open, Elmer.
How's your eyes, Mr. Gregory?
Yes, how's your eyes, Mr. Gregory? Bad size?
Bad. Very bad.
Come on, Si, come on.
Well, my eyes is terrible bad too, but I got some stuff you can put in them at night and...
Si Perkins, if you don't quit bellowing and moaning and howling about
you're,
your troubles...
bent over mighty bad too, ain't you? What's the matter with you, Mr. Gregory?
Sorry, Perkins, if you don't let Mr. Gregory alone.
That's quite all right, Sheriff. The very first man I've met in 20 years who understands my troubles.
Well, my goodness sakes, if that don't beat all get out. There, that Gregory fella just big a fool about his misery as Si is.
Just come right out here, Mr. Gregory, and I'll help you up them steps. And tomorrow I'll bring you out some all the kinds of medicine I got, and we can try out all the different kinds together.
Oh, Sheriff, my goodness. Never in my life did I see two darn such old women. There's old sobbing Si telling his troubles to Mr. Gregory, and tomorrow they're going to sit and trade medicine and eat pills while me and you's got to figure out this case.
And don't forget, Elmer, that every day we waste brings Stephen Gregory just that much nearer to his death.
If your death was only 10 days away, would you talk about pills? At least Elmer and the sheriff realize that every hour counts in the fight to save Gregory's life. Your own announcer will tell you when you may hear the next episode of Si and Elmer over this station.